Hello there, FFS Livestream back again. Hope you're well. It's a sunny day here today, and we're experimenting with a very slightly different format to the show today. Usual rules apply. You can email us, and you can follow us, and like us, and subscribe, and all of those things on various channels. You can drop us emails and give us questions to ask our guests, and you can donate at the GoFundMe page. In the meantime, we shall turn to our guest today, Miguel and Matt. Do you want to just introduce yourself, sir, and tell us what you do?
Sure. My name is Matt, and I'm a producer. I'm the producer for Miguel's show.
And the show is?
Stardust at the Ten Dome, so just about over there.
Righty-ho. And Miguel,
yeah,
you're in the show?
I am in the show, yeah. My name is Miguel Hernando Torres Umba. I like using the full
Thank
name.
goodness you pronounced that instead of me.
Yes, just in case, yes.
We'd have been here 20 minutes.
That could cover the whole time. But yeah, I'm an actor and theatre maker, and I'm starring in Stardust.
Have you been to the Fringe before?
I have been once about 8 years ago as a crew member for Pleasance, but that was at a completely different time. And yeah, very different experience.
And just briefly, what's the show about?
The show is a one-man show about Colombia, cocaine, and the politics and the human and cultural impact that the cocaine trade has in Latin America. So that's the subject matter. And we use a lot of physical theatre, animations, projections, a sound journey as well to talk about it.
And is it quite dark, but with comic undertones?
It's very, it's about a reality, but it's very entertaining. It's a very entertaining, it's quite funny as a piece as well, up to a point. And it's also very beautiful. The visual is very stunning.
So have you been going well so far? Are you getting treated well? Are you being treated okay?
Well, yeah, when the producer's around, yeah.
No, terribly, man. Slave labour all the way.
Yeah, good. I mean, it's the first time that we're bringing a show here. Well, it's the first time I'm producing a show that comes here, and it's a completely new experience. So we're learning everything bit by bit, and we now trying to understand how get audience to see the show. Really, I think that's the main challenge for most shows. 3,500 shows. Everyone is competing, and there might be thousands of people out there, but it's trying to bring them in. We've had very good reviews, very good comments from our audience, yet we still have, we need to find more ways of reaching out to people, and I think, that's what the challenge is.
As you said, we try and avoid the word competition, because we like to think of it as a community and that we're all in it together. So, but I appreciate what you mean. There's 3,500 shows, and obviously you want, as many people as possible to come to see yours. Matt, how do you deal with that? So you're producing the show.
Yeah.
So
which element?
Of the marketing?
What are we doing marketing-wise? So there's a flyering team who is out, a few hours every day, so that's paid for in advance. Miguel, I think you go out maybe for an hour every day, some days you don't do. And then we're doing social media, so all of those channels are being used. I'm not really here that much. I came here to get the show in for the first 4 days, and I've come up again just to touch base because it's a long old drag doing this for a month. And then I'll probably come back at the end as well. So
do you have a raft of shows? How did this show end up being here?
How did this show? No, I don't have a raft of shows. I'll put my hands up and say I'm not an Edinburgh fan. I think it's a really hard job, and I think it's really difficult, and I think the potential for it to be a not great experience is really large, and therefore as a producer I've kind of always steered as clear of it as I possibly can. But I got involved with this show at the start of this year to take it from Casa Festival to the Vault Festival, and then take it on to a place called Streatham Space. And Miguel and I have worked together for 4 years on and off in different ways, and Miguel was really keen to come up here with it. I fought him tooth and nail to say that I thought that was a terrible idea and we didn't need to do it, and we could take it on tour straight away and it would be fine. But Miguel really wanted to do it. It was an experience he wanted to have. He wanted to have the networking opportunities. He wanted to, I guess, put it in front of international programmers. Is this something that you probably get a better marketplace for here than you get in other places? So it I went, all right.
I suppose because particularly this show is an international flavoured show.
Well, yeah, it's probably got that. It's got that potential in it, definitely. So yeah, basically I was shanghaied into doing it. So it's a lovely show and it deserves an audience like this. So there is positives to it. But
so you have a team of flyers out there as well.
Yeah.
Are you paying them properly?
Yeah, I don't know what we pay. I think they're paid at either 10 or £12 an hour.
Matt, it's not hard. It's a leading question. It's just yes. It's just, yes, we're treating them brilliantly.
No, just gotta be honest, mate. I don't know. I don't know what's the standard rate for a flyer. I worked through a marketing person, and they were like, "This is how much we're paying them," and I was like, "That sounds all right."
I think this year I've been reading like £10 an hour with the potential for like a bonus if you get like a certain.
I think that's what we're working on. Yeah.
And it's reasonable. Do you do that through an external company, or do you?
So we worked. Our
direct?
PR agency put us in touch with a lady who does it up here. Does it for a few shows. Has her own shows up here. Has done it in the past, and they do it, and she takes care of that for us.
And you've been getting out there and actually doing some yourself.
Yeah.
Do you find that successful? Do you find is it easier as a performer to kind of persuade people to see your show?
I mean, it's easier because I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know about it. I know about what the show is about, and I can really explain to different audiences what they can get from it. But it's harder because it's my own show. So in a way, it's put in my own, and the rejection sometimes is harder to accept because it's people rejecting the work that you've been, spending loads of hours, investing so much energy. And money as well to make happen. So sometimes it's harder to take on the rejection. I've done flyering and I've done like promotion and I've done a lot of immersive theatre and things for like loads of people, and I find it really easy to interact with an audience when it's not my thing. But when it's me trying to sell my own show and the flyer that we designed quite carefully and people it gets so personal and it's hard to detach from that. So when I get to do it, then it's easier to flow. But on a daily basis, if sales are not going well or if a number of people have sort of said no, it breaks it down quite a lot. And you can see the street team is also having a hard time. People trying different ways of reaching people. And if I'm going on my way somewhere, I don't take flyers because I'm on a mission. But if 1,000 of people passing and you're trying and it's very hard emotionally to take.
We've said on the show before, for an actor particularly who has to deal with rejection at all times of the year, it's nice to come up here and be rejected in a completely separate way. It shows about cocaine. Have you thought about doing samples, little samples on the street?
That's part of
so many people are suggesting this that we should just do something like on the flyer. It should be like you get a free line with every single person who shows up. I'm not sure it would go down that well.
No, I think.
Do you think we get away with it?
Probably get shut down.
Are you saying we should do it?
No. Maybe sherbet though.
We always we mocked about it. What do we do if we do a little box of something? But no, I mean you never know what people are going to do with it, and then you might get in trouble. And even if it's just powder or they might put it up the nose.
It's a lot more trouble.
So it's just and it's not about that really. What the show is.
At Vault Festival, we had cards for a fictional drug dealer, and we had little bags of things which we handed out to people around there. But that's kind of a much more contained.
Yeah.
At a place that you can do it, so you can get away with it. You can just imagine here things could go.
Oh, in London, you never even noticed.
In London it's just common. But also, Vault Festival is within the vault, so it's contained. The security team knew that the guy was because we had people come into the security team and say, "Hey, there's a drug there." And they're like, no, it's an actor. He's doing the thing. And some people getting really upset when they found out.
Actually, hang on, that's the actor. No, that guy is the drug dealer.
He's the actual drug dealer, but we got a deal.
I mean, I always look forward to it because it's great that people do crazy stuff to promote their show. Yeah. I mean, there's an award for it. It's one of the first. It's one of the few things.
Is
one
it?
of the few big awards.
No, we
had a stunt, but I don't think we've used it yet.
We haven't used it, no.
There's well, you explain. It's your costume,
it's
isn't
the
it?
Malcolm Hardy Award for cunning stunt.
Cunning. Well, we have a canine.
I think there's usually 3 nominations.
Canine. We have a canine. Yeah.
There's 3 nominations for it, I think, usually, and then they announce a winner towards the end of the festival. So probably still time to
get out.
I don't know how you get noticed for that. I think maybe it's just word spreads.
No. I mean, there's a lot of energy to do that, and also trying to get the show on.
Yeah, we never talked. Is that why you decided not to do it? Just it's too much energy. There's this wonderful, basically, there's this wonderful carnival company called Mandinga Arts, who make great costumes, these beautiful, large costumes. And there's one of this dog, which we were going to put on the streets as a sniffer dog for cocaine. And Miguel can play that dog. He knows the physicality very well, and it's a really eye-catching costume. But had you just decided that it's just too much energy to put in before you got to do a show?
Yeah, but also kind of needed someone else. Because in the dog costume, he's got crutches and he's got. I can't really then interact, so it needs another person to go around and then it implies bringing someone else, paying that someone else to do it. So at the end of the day, it's just easier to go around and talk to people about the show.
How do you look after yourself while you're here? Have you been taking care of yourself? Have you been taking care of the
I haven't. I mean, what do I do to take care of it? No, I mean, in the sense of mothering, no. But I guess I've I try and stay in touch every day. You're trying to. I guess as a producer, you're trying to ask not just the practical questions. You're trying to ask if you can't be here, you're trying to ask like, how are you? Are you okay? Are things going all right? Because it's a one-man show, and he's up here by himself, talking about you like you're not there, mate. But you're up here by yourself. It's a one-man show. It's a lot of like onus on one person's shoulders. So you're trying to be as caring as you can be. But there's also part of me, and this sounds a bit callous, is like, this is what Edinburgh is. This is kind of what you knew you were signing up for in some way. At the start, I was like, make sure you cook for yourself, make sure you get in the habit of doing that and not eating shit all the time. Sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. I don't know.
No, you can swear. We've had some top swearing in this program.
But that's about as far as it's gone. I mean, yeah, trying to make sure I'm in touch every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
and that, yeah, certainly that helps, definitely, because it's like, it's interesting being in a place where there's thousands of people, and yet when you're on your own, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to, access a group, because
it's amazing how many people have said that, because there's 3,500 shows. There's like 10,000 people, and you can be lonely in the middle of all of that.
But it is like every other company is doing their thing, so they've got their own schedule, they'll have their own things to do, flyering, resting, you're going to see the show, but they kind of remain as a group, like a small closed group. Not because they want, because that's easier, as they have sort of the family, the place to go back to. But if you're not part of them, it's really hard. And you meet them and they kind of want you to be welcome, but it doesn't like, the timing that don't
Every
fit.
show's a bit of a bubble.
Yeah.
I think, and it's the way, like, that's where it is on the outside of Edinburgh. Shows become bubbles, and I think you've just got like 1,000 different bubbles kind of like existing around each other at the moment.
I mean, that's what we're trying to do with this show. We're trying to pop a few bubbles and bring people a bit more together. I mean, I think one of the things we've been recommending right through the show is that Fringe Central is a great place to just go and just start talking to people.
Yeah.
The staff there are great. If you're feeling lonely or anything, if you do feel alone, you can talk to staff there, you can talk to other people there, and just like meet people. Have you like met people and created a little support?
Bit by bit, I feel like something that is happening quite naturally is people from the same show in the same venue.
Yeah.
So people who are just before me, or a couple of shows before me, we meet, so in a way we keep seeing each other. They've seen the show, I come to see the show, so there starts to be a little bit of support. And kind of organically happening, because a lot of, if you go like, I really want to be friends with someone, doesn't work. So with them, I feel like that's happening, which is good. And there's other companies where we've met, and people who I know from before that occasionally we meet, but again, they are in their own journeys. And I've been to Fringe Central only once, aware that I needed to go to more events, but at the same time trying to like be on top of, our fly, whether we go posters or not, whether I can go and do a bit more flyering, whether I need to go and warm up for the show. Like, all of those things have been taking time away from me actually being able to go to the events as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
But yes, I realized Fringe Central was a good place to meet people as well.
It's tough this month. It's a marathon. It's a lot to get through, and I think you do have to be aware. Everybody's slightly different. Everybody has different levels of energy. Everybody has a different level of like concentration of how long per day they want to be. Like, I need an hour before my show to just like switch off from everything, or I need to just go and like be somewhere quiet, find a quiet spot. Everybody's different. Some people like to just be chatting to people and then just walk out the wing onto the stage and they're there. I think it's important to realise that everybody is different. I like the bubble thing. I think that's a really good way of thinking of it. That there's all these different bubbles. It's sort of like Venn diagrams. There's sort of people crossing over and like they can spend some of their time doing that and not.
Yeah, my feeling is that maybe over you towards the end of the festival there will be some people that will remain for future work, like people who go back to London, or people who probably were interested in one's work and they go, I like to keep in touch with you, or vice versa. So I feel like maybe that community a few people will just solidify into something later as opposed to immediately here.
Yeah.
I think maybe that's something retrospectively to think is, before coming here, who are the people we could be collaborating with? And who we could be connecting, so that when we get to Edinburgh, we know on our own.
So being more specific
so
about
like, in advance, being here is hard because you're already in that marathon. So imagine being in a marathon, if you're running with someone good, but if you need to go ahead, you need to go ahead. Or if they need to go ahead, you can't wait. They're not going to wait for you. Because we're all kind of looking to achieve something with the shows, with our careers, with whatever it is.
Yeah.
We're looking for something else.
I think that goes along with the competitiveness thing. It's like it's a race, but it's not a race. It's a marathon that we're all running. Like the London Marathon, you're running it for your own reasons, for charity or whatever. But we're all in it together. You don't go tripping somebody else over.
No,
and
exactly.
if somebody else like breaks down and can't finish, then that doesn't mean that you're going to get any quicker.
Yeah.
It's just like helping people up and helping
But it's
people
just so.
through it.
I mean, it's just so hard to make a show successful here. It's just so hard. The amount of energy and application it takes for a team to like get enough people to even know that their show is on, get the reviewers in, get the audience in to see it. I don't think there's a lack of like goodwill. I just think there's a lack of time and energy. It's like every moment, and I am all for like a community of people helping each other, but it feels like you have to do so much to ensure that your show is all right, that your mental health is all right, that actually focusing on anyone outside of your bubble becomes really hard, because you're like, okay, if I do start to use that energy elsewhere, it might actually have severe ramifications on whether my show, if I don't go out for 2 days on Flyer and I do look after, just go hang out with someone for like 2 days and just chill and like reconnect, or make a connection that might be useful later on in life, but I'm not thinking about the here and now. That might be 2 days of sales where suddenly it's like, the sales have dropped off and I am now in £2,000 worth of debt when I go home rather than £1,000 worth of debt, which means I can't pay my mate back for the money that I borrowed off them. And all of these like actual like practical ramifications are really real. I think like lots of shows are like living on a tightrope here when it comes to money and people's livelihoods. And I think finding that balance is really hard. I think there's, yeah, I don't know the place enough, but I don't know how many. Is there a different model of people interacting with inside the monetary structural model of how Edinburgh works?
Yeah.
That, I mean, like, I know that's a massive question,
but
I just, yeah. Because everyone here is lovely. All the people that I know here are really nice. There's a will. They're people who would help and would be nice, but it's just really hard, and it's not even competitive with each other. It's just competitive with how hard the actual thing is to make it work.
Yeah, that's true. It's not necessarily with each other. That's true. Like, you know, the competition, when I probably mentioned it, and now that we've used the word a few times, it's not necessarily you doing better, you said no, it's more about like, you know, how, with the environment, really, more than the actual other shows. I know I haven't felt like I'm competing with anyone else other than with the environment and myself and how do I...
The problems are sort of broader,
exactly.
So there's been a lot of stuff in the last few days about the economic accessibility of Edinburgh and, you know, how people are treated, how people are paid.
I've only caught bits of it on like Twitter and stuff. Has it been? Is it a story with momentum?
Yeah, I think that's something that probably, definitely in September, will get more and more into the news. I suspect, while people are concentrating on their own stuff while they're here.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh my god.
The revolution in terms of changing how Edinburgh Fringe is structured and trying to make it a fairer kind of.
What do you think about it?
Oh, I wouldn't dare to dream. I think that's a long game, and it's for people smarter than me.
But do you think it needs changing in some way? That's why I'm not trying to put you on the spot, turn this back. I'm just actually.
No, sure. I think some people are. I think let me fix it right here.
This and this and this and this here.
I think when you look at a thing and see that some people are struggling, and that there is kind of unfairness, you want to help, and the only way that I could immediately see helping is to try and do something that would like bring people together and stop that mentality that some people I think still have of competitiveness with other people.
Do you think it is there?
I
just haven't seen it. I'm not saying.
Underneath. I think we're just, for the whole month, we're all in PR mode, and we're all like, you know, why are they getting 5 stars and we're only getting 3? I saw their show. Like, we're on a level with them, and like, or how come they're selling out? I don't understand. And I think it's just getting past that and like not worrying about that, not projecting that onto somebody else.
Yeah.
Like concentrating on your own stuff, only on the things that you can control. And so that's what this program was about, trying to encourage people to be nicer to the people that they can do, like their venue staff, you know, just people in your immediate environs, and tell these stories, like how people deal with Edinburgh, so that you can see how many different people deal with different things at different levels in their career.
Yeah.
And think, oh, actually, we're not so different. Like, we're all the same.
Yeah.
I think Juliet Burton was on the other week, who's doing really well. Her shows consistently sell out, and she said, I find it really, the pressure of it really difficult, because she said it's not arrogance to say so, but you know, when you're actually selling out, you're still the pressure of like, I need to sell out again tomorrow, otherwise I'll feel like it's a massive step back, and that, you know, things are all going wrong.
With it. Yeah.
It's very easy when the sun's out. You know, it's very easy for a dark cloud to come across, which is a beautiful metaphor, because that's kind of what's happened during this interview.
Yeah.
We've been in an
in terms of like keeping like, you know, myself like healthy. I think, yeah, definitely like recommendations of like just, you know, make sure get there and buy enough food and cook.
Yeah.
I don't normally cook when I'm at home.
Right.
Yeah, but this time I've been like, okay, you know, just make sure I prepare something. So that's taken, you know, time of my day where I'm just focusing on, you know, the food that I'm going to eat and taking it here. That has really helped as well.
And the water that you're going to drink,
and the
because hydration.
Exactly.
So important.
Yeah, I always sweat so much in like the venues are so hot. It gets so hot, especially you know in a day like this.
Yeah.
It's gonna get really hot, and everyone lives out.
Yeah.
The venue just sweating completely drenched.
What would be a good Edinburgh for you? What would you consider leaving here and going, that's a good, I've done well?
I do. Well, I don't. I mean, I feel like I'm feeling very positive, to be fair. Like this is something I wanted to do. Just like the experience of being on a stage for this amount of time with a piece that I care much about and reaching out people. For me, it's already like I'm already winning. You know, there is you know, as an actor who is, you know, from a small minority group like Latin American Colombian actor, there's no roles for me out there. So creating a show where I have the space for an hour to talk to people about something I care, and me as an actor beyond the subject matter, having that chance of being every day on the stage is, you know, it's a privilege, and it's, you know, something I'm passionate. I'm very happy to just have done. That's it. That for me is. I'm now, well, the next step is I don't want to be in debt. So that's the next thing. Just I need to sell, because obviously I don't want to be in debt when I finish, or hopefully, you know, at least break even.
I was going to say, you've been shanghaied into this. What level do you say, does he come and say, I told you so? And you're like, yeah.
I think I think it's pretty simple. So it needs to come out with enough 4 and 5 star reviews that it has a future. It needs to come out having washed its own face, and it needs to come out with like at least 5 possibilities for it to go on touring, like secure pencil possibilities of it going on touring somewhere else, and then that's good. And he needs to not be dead.
Yes, that would be good.
Yeah. But it's funny that I think about that last, and that's the last thing I say.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Tommy.
No,
I hope
pleasure,
all
mate.
of that works for you.
Yes, thank you very much.
We'll be back with another show shortly with some more guests. It was, wasn't it? Wasn't happy with it. Wasn't happy with it, but that's the way it happened.
That's caring, isn't it? That's caring for you too.
Oh, there's no love here. There's no love here.
We usually end up with like an outtake that's just him going, that was shit.
Again.
You sounded like a
Again.
dick. You sounded like a dick then.